This week, I'm going to show you how to use Google Forms in the classroom to quiz your students or give them a question like an out-the-door type ticket question. And yes, you can use this all the way down through kindergarten. I don't recommend using it for kindergarten until the very end of the year and putting students in groups and having them answer the questions together in a group. But I will show you one that I created as a sample that could be done for first grade, kindergarten at the very end of the year. And I've also done it with those age groups in my classroom as well. So what you're going to do is go to your Google Drive. Then click on the folder that you want your form in. Then press the New. And go down to More and choose Google Forms. Then the first thing you need to do is title your form. Note that whatever you put here, it will put it up there if you don't change it. So I'm going to put Seasons, and I'm going to call the Season Sample. And I'm going to click up here, and I'll leave mine titled Season Sample. That's fine. And the biggest thing I need to do in order to make this a quiz for my students is I need to go up to the gear, and I need to go over to the tag that says Quizzes and turn on the little knob to make it a quiz. I choose to later, after manual review, release the grades if I have a short answer question. That way I can look at them and grade it. If not, you can choose immediately after submission. So I'm going to change that. This is a personal preference. The students, this determines whether you want them to see the questions that they missed, the correct answers, and the point values. I would check correct answers. That way they're not sharing with somebody who hasn't taken the quiz. Point values, that's just a personal preference. Some children like to see it. It doesn't matter. And then missed questions, whether you want them to see the ones they missed or not. That's just a personal preference. Once you make that, then I go under the presentation and I choose to show link to submit after response, or another response, I'm sorry. And why I choose that is so that, like in kindergarten or in first grade, if you have it on your Chromebooks, when they turn theirs in, it automatically, if this link is there, they can click it for the next student, and you don't have to go back over there and do it. You just have to teach them how to do it one time. And then I press Save. And then now I can create it. I can give a description if I wish to. Use your study guide to help you answer these questions. Keep in mind, I'm making this for I'm pretending this is for a first grade class, but you can do this all the way up through 5th grade and through kindergarten if you do it at the end of the year. So down here, I can start typing my question. I can also add in videos. So I'm going to add a video. And I'm going to go find a YouTube video on seasons. I'm going to click under video. And I'm going to choose Seasons for Kids. And I'm going to choose this one. Now, remember, in order to get the video approved, you're going to want to watch it. I know that a lot of them, you can take it to other screens and switch out the preview so they don't have to watch them.
So every time I type on my computer, details are important, small things are important.
English Sing Sing. 4 seasons. Spring. March.
If I find that this is my video I want, I just copy the link, go back to my other tab, paste it. There's my video. I click my video and choose select. I can title the video. I can just say, watch this video and answer the questions below. And then I can ask a question. What is the weather like in the spring? They will guess what type of question I want. I can change it myself. I will leave it a multiple choice, especially for younger grades. So I can say cold. I can say warm. Or I can say, what about cold, warm, what about hot? And then I need to choose it and make it required, especially if it's a quiz. Then I go to answer key, and I choose whatever answer I want and give it a point value. So I'm going to say I want that worth 10 points. There's the question. Then I can go on to, I can edit my question. Let's say I want to change it from spring to summer. And then I just go back and I change my answer key to the correct answer and I uncheck the original. And then now it's chosen my correct answer. And now I can choose another question. So let's say for this one, I want to add maybe a picture. So I'm going to go to add image and I'm going to go to search. And I'm going to search snowy day. And I'm going to take a random picture of snow. And it's going to upload that picture on my page and I'm going to call it snowy day. Use this picture to answer the question below. Let me go change this one too. All right, and then I'm going to add a question to go with this. I can, if I like my video center, I can click and center align my video, and I can do the same thing with my image. It just depends on personal preference, whether you want it in the center or off to the side. So now I'm going to add a question about this particular picture. So, what season do you think it is in the snowy day picture above? Winter, summer, spring. And then I need to add my answer key. I'm also going to give this one 10 points, and I'm going to choose winter. To see what my students will see, all I have to do is do the little eyeball for preview, and your students will see this. Keep in mind, you have to make sure that you mark this video approved in order for your students to see it when they take their quiz. They watch the video, they answer the question, it tells them it's worth 10 points. Then they go down, they look at the picture, choose their answer, and press submit. And I can keep going until I get the certain number that I want. To change the background color, all I have to do is go to the top and choose the Customize Theme. You can choose an image that they have. So maybe I want to go under illustrations. You can upload your own photos. You can, there's so much you can choose from. So this one, I mean, that looks kind of like spring, so that would work for seasons. You could also do something like this for summer for a season. So let's say I want, I'm going to choose, oh, this one, I like that one. I'm going to choose that and press select. And you'll notice it changed it to the top. If I choose one of these, it'll change the side banner color. And I can choose whichever one I want. This is the background. You can make it darker or lighter, depending on what you choose. Your font, there are different fonts, so maybe you want to change the writing, just like I did there. Once you're done here, you can close out, and now yours will look just like that. So if I go back to preview, it looks all cutesy. I'm going to close that tab and go back to my quiz. All right, so as I do this, I just keep playing around and adding new stuff. As you're going, I already showed you the video and the image. You can add sections. That is a little more complicated, but you can add sections where you'd have several pages and almost do your own breakout online session, which students love, but that would really be geared for older kids. So once you get this the way you want it, then you do have under settings, because we are doing the lower elementary students, I would suggest that after they submit it, they're not going to be able to edit it. But if the older grades say that they're not able to finish because you see more than one class, you can choose that after they've turned it in and pressed submit, they can go back later. So if they don't finish it, they just press submit, even though they're not finished, and then they can go back later. But in order to do this, you will have to change it to where you will have to take it off of that it's required. Otherwise, it's going to make them do it before they submit it. So that's a little bit different. But this is a great way to get different things. It will tell you who's turned in a response, who hasn't. The only way you'll collect the email so you know which child has done it is by going back and adding a question. The upper grades, you can have them log into their Google accounts and that'll give it to you. But for the younger grades, I just would add a question and make the very first question. I'm going to click it and I'm going to drag it to the very top. And I'm going to make my question, what is your name? And it noticed that I wanted to know a name, so it changed it to short answer. And I'm going to make it required. And by doing that, the student has to click in it, and they have to put their answer. I'm going to uncheck answer key on that one. I just clicked the wrong thing. All right, so I don't need to know this one. There's no value points, or if you wanted to give 5 points for remembering to put their name, you can do that. It doesn't matter. All right. So I'm going to go now and let me go back to edit question. All right. So I'm not going to click on answer key because I'm not going to, that's going to be different. When I go there, just like I had a minute ago, it's going to want me to list the correct answers. And then it says mark all other answers incorrect. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go back to edit. I'm not looking for an answer key on that one. And then for younger grades, if you didn't want them to give a grade, you could just go back to your settings and you could change that to where they don't see point values. And then you could take it off quizzes altogether and it won't give answers at all. So it just depends what you're looking for. Like this could be a pretest where they don't get graded. But for the older grades, sometimes it's nice that they can see what they got and when they got it. When you're ready to send it to your students, just click on send, and then you can get the link and copy the link, and you can send it to your Chromebooks. You can also shorten the URL if you want to, and it makes it a lot smaller for you to copy and send it to those Chromebooks. And then once it's up there, they'll get it at the end. So when I go to preview and after I choose it and submit, and I'll show you what I mean. And I press submit, then it'll say submit another response. So now the child just has to click on this and the next student can put their response in. It's that easy. And then it tells me on my page as a teacher that I've gotten a response. And now I know that I've gotten a response that 100% of the students have said it's hot. And then 100%, because that's the only answer I have, said that it's winter. And it did tell me who has responded. And I can choose by individual, and I can see that this is April's and what she answered. So now I'm going to give you some directions, and I'm going to, since I'm not meeting with you face-to-face, I'm going to have you create a Google form and just add 2 questions and submit the link to me through Google Classroom. And then I will give you a certificate to prove that you did this training with me since you weren't there face-to-face. Thank you for your time.